let's get into the controversy here right off the bat. The Logan Paul Effect. There was a huge sale for a Dragon Ball sneak preview #1 from Viz in 1998. Comic Tom had it as his #4. Went for $10,250, which is, yeah, okay, it's a CGC 9.8. What you're looking at here is a foreign market edition, I guess, #1. It's not the real deal. I mean, for us, for the English-speaking audience, okay, sure, it's the real deal. But that's a ridiculous amount of money to pay for a comic book that's like a foreign language edition from 1998. Here's one, I would suggest would probably be a better deal. 8.5, again from Rainier Consignment Shop, was listed for $15,000. Actually went for $12,000. Here's a Dragon Ball Raw that sold for $2,150 this week. It looks to be in pretty good shape. So here's a Dragon Ball 1 as well. This time it's only a BGS 5.0. It was actually up for auction. It sold for $1,836. So is there a Logan Paul effect on manga prices? Not really. It's funny, like right now I would say it's affected comic books more than it has manga prices, although One Piece is insane. Let's be honest here. I'm not going to do a One Piece section this week. It's just there are too many sales. What I will do is give you the firstprint.net's top 11. Why 11? Because number 11 was interesting. But you're going to see, like, it is just straight One Piece pretty much. So here we go. They had the #1 sale was a One Piece Volume 1, BGS 9.2, went for $20,000. #2 was another One Piece Volume 1 and a 9.2, went for $16,000. #3 is interesting to me. This is Demon Slayer with the Obi, BGS 9.6, $11,400. That's actually up like 188%. #4, another Demon Slayer, same book basically. BGS 9.6 with the Obi, only $77.37. #5, another One Piece, $7,500, BGS 8, Volume 1. #6, another One Piece, 8.5, $7,000. #7, One Piece. This time it was a BGS 9, so somebody looks like got a really good deal there. That was $64.68. #8, oh, guess what? Another One Piece, BGS 8.5, 60, Volume 1, first print, of course. #9, One Piece, oh my goodness, Volume 1, BGS 8.5, $5,800. Finally, we get to something a little different for #10. This is Kagurabachi, BGS 9.8 with the Obi, $57.79. So why was I interested in #11? It's Chainsaw Man. It's a BGS 9.8 with the Obi. Went for like $4,700. Why is that of interest? Well, normally Chainsaw Man doesn't go for that kind of coin. Let's look at some traditional sales here. But then I saw, like, this week there was a raw sale with the Obi. Went for $740. So I've got to say, like, there's some definite interest in that first printing Japanese Chainsaw Man, but only with the Obi. I have the feeling there's a ton of them out there without the Obi, not so many with the Obi. So let's get into the Japanese manga that did sell for big bucks, and we'll start with alphabetical Attack on Titan. This was a BGS 8, only went for $300, which actually kind of low. Here's a Black Clover #1. This is from 2015, BGS 9.8. They had it listed for $5,000, but what scares me about this one, if you look at the seller's points, they're at 0. But according to 130 points, they took $4,500. Here's a Bleach #1, 8.5, first printed. This one went for $3,000 Australian, which is about $2,175 American. Here's another one that may be really affected by the Obi or not the Obi. This was a BGS 8.0 white Death Note Volume 1, first edition, $1,500. Here's a Demon Slayer .1 with the Obi. Went up for auction, $1,435. The reason it was much lower, this was a BGS 8.0, so you can see how grade really jumps the value of these books. This one was super interesting to me because this is Full Metal Alchemist. We covered this a little bit last week. This was a Volume 1 first printing, BGS 7.5. Only went for $371. What was interesting to me was that his BGS 7.5 altered. How was this altered? All three edges of the book were sanded. Now, what do they mean by sanded? Well, I got my old Excel Saga 14 here, and you can see, like, there's yellowing around the edges, right? So the page is off-white. The edging definitely more yellow, right? Because it has more exposure to the air. An old trick was take like super fine sandpaper, and you would like sand this to make it look closer to the interior pages, right, of the off-white. Get rid of the yellowing. Super old sales trick, used to do it with a lot of manga, but when you're going for grading, that's a problem. Because now that Beckett's involved, like they can tell, obviously it's been sanded. So that's an alteration to the book. So it is going to affect your sale price. So, wow, another thing to look out for, right? Here's one that wasn't sanded. This is Gachi Akuda, Volume 1, first print with the Obi, BGS 9.8. Gachi Akuda is, again, a very recent series. Went for $1,280. Let's put this next one in the category of manga I wish I had seen because I would have bought it. This is Galaxy Express 999, Volume 1, early printing 1977, Leiji Matsumoto, $90. I would have definitely jumped on this one had I seen it. Here's another recent manga sold. This is a BGS 9.4 Jigo Karaku Volume 1 with the Obi, or Hell's Paradise. Was listed for $800 and it sold for $400 US. First time I've actually seen Initial D on this list. So Initial D, #1, back from 1995. First printing, Japanese, BGS 9.4. So really good shape for that vintage. Sold for $3,700 Canadian, or around $2,700 US. It's funny because I honestly believe this Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 0 goes for more money than Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. So here we have BGS 9.8, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 0, first printing, $2,895. And normally don't put up the ended auctions, normally just the sold ones, unless I can cross-verify it with 130 point. So in this case, this one actually sold for $2,663.40. Here's one that's pretty much guaranteed to come out at a 9.8. This is Kagurabachi, first print Volume 1 with the Obi, first edition, shrink wrapped. $1,050 it sold for. I know this manga has a really big fan base. This is a Kingdom Volume 1, first edition, first printing, Japanese manga, sold for $380. Let's put this under the file of another one I would have jumped on and bought had I actually seen it first. This one is Made in Abyss, Volume 1, BGS 8.5, Japanese, first printing, $150 US, which I think is a really good deal. Another pretty recent manga, and another Canadian seller actually, My Hero Academia, Japanese manga, first printing, Volume 1, BGS 9.6, sold for $1,200 Canadian, or $877 US. Here's another big raw sale out of Japan. This is Neon Genesis Evangelion, Volume 1, first printing, went for $650. I'm going to put this one up just because you have to be careful when you look at these sales, if you're buying any. This is One Punch Man, Volume 1, Japanese, graded manga, BGS 9.8, sold for $200. And you're thinking, wow, that's actually a pretty good deal. it's the 48th printing. This is where you have to like read the fine print, because if it looks too good to be true, it is. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting a Japanese language Volume 1 BGS 9.8 of One Punch Man for $200. You just have to be aware that it's the 48th printing and that it's probably not going to have a great resale market value because everybody wants the first printing. I'll be honest, I'm a big Sword Art Online fan. I've got the Progressives and the Ancrad English light novels behind me in there somewhere. So I've been kind of looking around for the Japanese ones, but I haven't seen a lot, especially within my price range. Just to show you, there's a little bit of interest out there. This is the BGS 9.8 with a 9.8 dust jacket, Sword Art Online. This is Gun Gale Volume 1, so one of the later arcs of the story. This one was listed for $1,800. It actually sold for $1,500 as a manga. Okay, let's jump into the Shonen Jump section. I'll keep this one a little shorter. The most interesting one to me was this weekly Shonen Jump 23 BGS 4.5. This is from 1971. It was listed for $4,999. It actually sold for $4,000 in a 4.5. Now, why did it sell for so much, you ask? Well, let me tell you. It was actually the first appearance of Kamen Rider, who's very large in Japan, and there's been a lot of movies and a lot of anime and everything about Shonen Rider. Here's another one that was pretty cool, I thought. Monthly Big Gangan, Volume 6 from 2017, $375. Now, it only had one bid as an auction, but that's still $375. This is basically the Apothecary Diaries first chapter, so that's why I went for that kind of money. Let's put this in the category of Edward probably would have bought it and went into debt had he seen it. This is Comic Comics number 2 from 1987. It's not the first Outlanders, but it is an Outlanders appearance with a sweet Joji Manabe cover. Only $80. Come on, this is good. Here we have a Shonen Jump, number 11 from 2016. This is in a BGS 6.5. First Demon Slayer went for $1,750. Weekly Shonen Jump, number 18 from way back in 1981. BGS 5.5. This is the first Captain Tsubasa. Went for $2,450. Weekly Shonen Jump 52 BGS 3.5 from way back in 1983. This isn't the first Dragon Ball, but it's kind of like a Dragon Ball prototype of Tongpo. Was listed for $5,000. Actually sold for $2,250. And finally, we come to my favorite section of the video, and that's the English manga, because I used to do this like from 2023 to 2024 pretty much every week, and it's like reminiscing for me. I'll keep this one short. We had another full collection of 5-star stories sell for $1,550. Haven't seen this one for a while, but boy, when it sells, it's valuable. Basra, Volume 19, went for $500. Basra 19 is actually one of the most valuable English manga as a single issue. And what's also valuable is Basra Volume 20. This one went for $375. Next up, we have the Freezing Omnibus ones. This is 1516. This is an ex-library copy. So an ex-library copy with the tag still on it from the Salt Lake County Library Services Manga Library. And boy, would I love to go to that book sale. Went for $110. And here's one that's a little better condition. This is Freezing Volumes 23, 24. Actually went for $240. And finally, we have the sales that make me happy. Here we have a rare plastic little captain's log, Satoshi Hiroshihara, manga from 1998, basically plastic little, sold for $100. Now, why does that make me so happy, you ask? Well, because I bought mine back in 2023 for about half that price. So I love Plastic Little. It's the unfortunate part about Plastic Little is they edited out the story that made it make sense and just left in the jiggle physics and violence, basically. So, but still, it's fun. It's good to watch. So, anyway, there's the video, the list. Hope you learned something. Sorry I didn't put in the One Piece. It's just any high grade One Piece now is worth money. And volume one's worth a lot of money. So it would basically take up its own section to do this. So yeah, it's interesting, and whew, we'll talk to y'all later, and have a great week. Bye bye.